Who are some off the radar guys that continue to shine? Some guys that aren't being talked about a lot that have a real chance at making this 53-man roster.
Well, this receiver thing is really interesting, but this Gage Larvidan, he is a guy who keeps making plays, and every year there's guys that are camp guys who really do well. But he's a guy who his flexibility, even though he's undersized, he can play outside, run some of those outside routes. They run him on some gadget plays. He's really good in the slot. Luke Flory is a guy that can make this team. Thrash is a guy that can make this team. Offensive line, I'm interested to see the depth of the offensive line. Obviously, we all know who those 5 starters are going to be for the Browns, but Jenkins and these guys in the back and Whitner, can they build some? I've been fairly impressed with the physicality of Whitner last couple of days, so I'm interested to see that. But that receiver core, once they're live action, I'm interested to see who kind of steps up between like Floria, Thrash, Larvidan, Caden Davis. There's some guys that have made some plays. Now they got to do it when it counts.
Yeah, we keep hearing, I've heard a number of different guys say Floria has a legitimate chance. And I think you and I were talking about it like coming out of OTAs.
Well, there's no question about it, and it's not a feel-good story. And I've said this even with Gage Larvidan. Floria fits a skill set out here, and it's a slot receiver. Today he was back returning a bunch of punts, which I think is very important because I think it'll be very crucial for him to be a gunner on punt, a punt returner, be able to play multiple positions on offense. If they get in 11 personnel to be that true slot to help with the run game, to throw it to him. He's been very consistent in his route running. He's been very consistent in his approach every single day. He's very workmanlike. He does a great job. But there's a lot of skill in Luke Flory. His ability, he is really twitchy inside. He's hard to cover inside. So he's a guy that's much better athletically than people gave him credit for. He's a guy in that slot that could really be helpful. Him and Carter and Larvidan, they got some guys we're going to see moving forward here when they get in live action. But Flory is not a fluke out here. He's really playing.